thought I wanted this.
500 hertz? Is this real?
When it comes to competition, or even just the satisfaction of crushing bots, we've demonstrated beyond reasonable doubt that more is better when
Yep, more frames, win games. That's what it is. At least in the genre of FPS.
it comes to monitor refresh rates. And we've got more than ever. The AW2524 from Alienware is the first 500 hertz monitor to hit our lab, and it is absolutely incredible. Sit up straight, gamers, because it's ergonomic, color accurate, and boasts
speed that's at the edge of human visual perception.
Ooh.
Finally, I can go from 2.78 milliseconds of latency to only 2. I'll be unstoppable. No one will see me coming with.
Except you still can't aim.
0.78 milliseconds of time eliminated from my leg chain. At last, I've reached my final form! Except for one small problem.
You still can't aim.
We have also demonstrated, beyond reasonable doubt, that while 360 hertz is technically better than 240 hertz, the difference is kind of like going from a supercar to an even more super car. And making matters worse, ultra-high refresh rate monitors like this one are expensive.
They're expensive for now until they become more the mainstream, except I don't know how much more they would become the more mainstream thing, because like I think 1080 is still like what most people use for like a computer monitor, even though I know like there's like a growing audience of like 1440p is like getting more and more, but still, is it still gonna follow suit for like refresh rate? Who knows? I mean, I still think most people would use like 144 hertz monitor, and then the next step is like, was it 240, 244, and then the next jump 360, and then the next jump after that is 500, and then it gets like even more ridiculous. All right, so we're still trying to get more and more people to use 240s. Linus over here talking about 500.
Do you even need one of these when there are less costly contenders that might actually even deliver a better gaming experience?
Maybe.
Do you even need this message from our sponsor?
Build Redux. Take the hassle out of building your own gaming PC.
Oh,
With
here
simple
we
to
go.
navigate customization options and competitive pricing compared to building a PC yourself, Build Redux will help you dominate your favorite games with the perfect PC for you. Check them out at the link below.
I want to make this clear, pun intended. The AW2524H is amazing. It's 24.5 inches, 1080p, so the esports special.
Yep.
But it's IPS with accurate coverage of 99% of the sRGB color gamut, boasts 0.5 milliseconds gray-to-gray pixel response times, and has an NVIDIA G-Sync module on top of, yes, you heard me right, a 500 freaking hertz panel. I cannot believe the lab wouldn't let me play with this ahead of time.
We were testing it.
This is Smooth Frog. Like the UFO test on Blurbusters, it's a great way of evaluating the motion performance of a monitor or a television. But unlike the UFO test, it runs locally on the machine, meaning that we can run this thing at 500 frames per second, which is exactly where we land after the recommended 20 hertz factory overclock. It's actually 480 hertz out of the box. I never thought I would live to see an IPS panel that performs like this. I'm definitely seeing.
Man, neither did I, Linus. Like, man, I thought I was gonna go the rest of my life never seeing an IPS panel go over like 300, but here we are, dude.
A little bit of blur along the back of my white frog here, but looking at these numbers, honestly, I'm kind of blown away. I've reviewed the script for this already, so I know that overall we're not hyper bullish on this display, but I guess I'm gonna have to see the competition because this looks really good to me. Even more remarkable is that
Oh my god, it's like we can't see the difference. I mean, shit, I can't even see the difference on my monitor.
there's no compromise with respect to vibrancy or viewing angles. I mean, it's IPS. It looks fantastic. I don't know what to tell you, man. I am damn impressed by this. I haven't even moved a mouse yet. Oh,
Smooth.
Wow.
I can kind of see how the mouse moves just on that little bit. How like smooth it looks.
1 second, 1 second.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh
Sure.
my.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
You're
God.
spending money on your chair when you don't already have the best computer. You're doing it wrong. But feel free to spend money on lttstore.com, okay? FPS_max 1000, like I don't know. Hey, there we go, boys. Woo! 600 FPS, let's go! This game is running at up to 900 frames per second. This feels like looking
Dang.
through a window into the real world. It's so smooth. Look at that clarity as I'm panning around, though.
I know we can all tell, Linus, easily.
You know, normally, particularly on things like these power lines, I usually
Because it translates so well over video.
look to darks or high contrast objects against the skyline. Like you'll see that blur or ghosting, but man, that is clear. Like you can read the text Graham here. You see Bot Graham there. Like what? Hold on, let's get right in here. What? Even if we can't run at the same FPS, I want to play something that has a bit of a longer time to kill, because that's what we found where the biggest benefit of high refresh rate and high FPS for that matter comes in. When you are tracking a moving target that is changing direction.
343?
It's not
Halo?
just about the smoothness of the animation and the
You better get out your controller there, Linus. You need them there controllers. That's a controller game, Linus.
clarity, though. Those things don't hurt.
I mean, shit, I'd be half baked if you get one kill on that M&K.
Something to note is you do need to use DisplayPort
Is he really not getting a controller?
in order to hit that 500 hertz. Even though it's 1080p, that's still a freaking lot of bandwidth, and the HDMI.
Bro, Linus is going to edit this out, and he's going to take out, because he's going to multiplayer quick play. There's not going to be anybody else in queue on M&K unless he like enters the crossplay. So if he enters the crossplay on KBM, then we're not going to see him get like a single kill. All right? It's just the fact of the matter.
My port on this thing is only HDMI 2.
Hell, Linus is probably the only like M&K player on here if while he's doing this video.
2.0. So you're going to be locked at 240 hertz if you stick with HDMI. I mean, realistically, you're not spending this kind of money on a monitor and then not hooking up a DisplayPort cable to like a top-tier graphics card. Like that would be gross misallocation of funds. But I'm just making sure you know. Why do I have a bazooka? What game mode is this?
Probably in like Fiesta or something.
Why do you have a bazooka? That's not even a bazooka. It's a rocket launcher, Linus. What? A bazooka.
What the hell is Fiesta?
Fiesta's where you get random weapons. You're playing on medium. How many frames are you getting?
I don't know.
Oh, he died once. Let's see if he gets one kill.
Sorry,
at the
getting like
thing.
350 FPS. No.
Oh, only 350 FPS. That's literally the reason you're not getting any wins, any kills, Linus. When you bump it up to 500, that's when the kills start coming in, dude. 100%.
Okay, hold on a second. No, I need to leave this game.
Yeah, you do need to leave that game, and you need to leave that input and put in the controller, Linus.
And just play a different one because like the whole point of this was I wanted to like get in gunfights with people.
I get it.
Oh my god.
Brandon, our expert, tells us that while it is definitely not as much of a benefit as outputting a higher this is the same stupid thing. Why is this? Oh,
Is it
shoot,
shutting
I just
down?
saw the power button.
Oh my god!
Oh, dang, you're close, Linus. You almost got that one. Ah, dang.
Damn it. Well, it doesn't make you a better player.
Nope.
The monitor though, right?
But the monitor,
But it's so smooth still.
yes.
It's so
we'll
good.
get to that. Hold on, I want
It's
to.
so fast.
Did you get? Hey, you got one!
Look at this guy. He's hanging from the door.
He got one with a grenade. He got a grenade kill. The guy entered the door gap and just ate a grenade. That's how Linus got a kill.
This is how you know it's a really good display, when all he does is just end up playing Halo the whole time.
Okay, this thing is pretty amazing.
Oh, good up-down track. Oh my god.
Just like tracking moving objects like this. Like,
Oh, dang. You didn't see that dude, man. You know, you would have saw it if you, like, increase your FOV, you know. That would have done it right there, Linus.
I don't compensate for spread, so I suck.
What spread? There is no spread. That's bloom. That's bloom, Linus. Put the controller in.
But if you look back, that crosshair was on him. Like,
Yeah, but your tracking wasn't like perfectly smooth. Whereas if you had a controller, it would have been like 100% smooth. You know what I mean?
I love this thing.
Ah,
Okay.
dang.
Whoops. Sorry. Now seems like as good a time as any to point out that this display supports G-Sync. What's cool about that is if we're running variable refresh rate, there is technically a latency benefit to having this 500 hertz display, even if our game is not managing to hit 500 frames per second, and Halo Infinite did not. We did at best around 350. That
Dang.
benefit is very small though.
Dang.
So small.
Dang, what was it? 2 millisecond? What's that G-Sync thing do? Put it like to 1? You know what? I bet that's what it is. Because he had that 1 extra millisecond of like delay or whatever. That's probably why he couldn't track that little target, you know, that little arc or whatever. I bet that was it. You know, he turns this on, he would have killed that guy.
There's just one problem. This 240 hertz OLED from LG is running at less than half the refresh rate, but looks clearer to just about everyone we showed it to.
The vibes from this one feel a little better. I'm gonna say
What do you mean the vibes? What?
this one. This, I think, has the best motion tracking.
It's a different kind of clarity. There is far, far less.
Or is he trying to make them guess which one is smoother without using the mouse and without doing the look up and the look down to see like what's what?
Blur behind our frogs here. But what I'm actually noticing is that relatively speaking, the text is less visible. So these finer objects are still very legible, but not quite the same. I can definitely see why people like this image more though. But if you look at readability of text, it's not even close. Part of it is probably the resolution. This is a 1440p display, so these elements are smaller.
Ah, the resolution mixed with the hertz, the refresh rate makes it more readable.
But I should be able to compensate by just getting closer, and I can't. That could just as easily be 255 or 256, whereas here I can clearly see that is 255.
Ooh,
You can see
dang, he's actually right. He put that camera like so close, I could see that thing moving.
ghosting on the back of basically every leg of the frog. It's just much more noticeable on the white guy. Whereas that ghosting is just gone on the OLED.
Bro, it's like, if you have to get close, this is only like fueling the fire of like the gamer hunch, you know, the thing where you're just like, you're just in there. Nobody really wants to do that. Everybody likes, or at least most people I would imagine, want to like preserve what good posture they have left, you know, sitting back, scooting their chair forward, having their monitor, you know, about an arm's length away.
However, you can also almost see the judder on the OLED.
Yeah, OLED judder.
So there's a doubling of the image, even if it's not blurry. Whatever our subjective opinions might be, there's no doubt that when captured in a still frame, the clarity of the LG OLED is higher. And this is where things get a little technical. While the Alienware display might refresh at lightning speed, processing the data needed to output a new frame once every 2 milliseconds, the individual pixels that make up the panel here, they still need a moment to catch up, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks incredible, and in most cases, it's almost imperceptible, as we saw when I was playing actual games. But when we compare that to the microsecond response times of an OLED, I mean, take a look at this frog capture.
Bro, this does not translate well over video. Take a look at this frog capture, dude. I mean,
It might be hard to see through our camera.
yeah, it is, man. I can see like the different colors, but it's still blurry, and blurry.
But in person, the white frog has clear ghosting as it slides across our IPS panel, whereas on the OLED, it is simply.
Huh? What's this? Okay. You can see. What is this? So let's look at the red one. The red one looks pretty clear in the center. And this one, and it's like, it's hard to tell like the black outline on this one versus the black outline on this one. But this one's like the clearest, I think. I don't know.
Not there. Kind of like how you can see our behind the scenes content on floatplane.com, but on but on YouTube, it's simply not there. Get subscribed so you can meet the team and check out how we shoot our merch photos. You can see a great example of why image clarity matters in addition to having a high refresh rate when you look at this video we did on a DIY 480Hz monitor like 5 years ago.
Yep.
Sure, we've got the most up-to-date frame being streamed to us through the scaler, but the actual image was a blurry mess anytime it was in motion. For the sake of thoroughness, we tried all the different response time settings that are available on the Alienware monitor. It has 4: Fast, Super Fast, Extreme, and Esports Extreme. And while Esports Extreme is 0.2 milliseconds faster than Fast based on our testing, the amount of overshoot and therefore visual anomalies that are introduced just is not worth it at all.
Dang.
Especially for such a tiny improvement. Can you tell the difference between 2.4 and 2.2 milliseconds?
No.
I know I can't. But back to our original question, what about 2.78 versus 2 milliseconds?
2.78 versus 2. Maybe? I don't know though.
That's the difference between a 360Hz monitor and a 500Hz one. Okay, here's the thing. As we make our displays refresh faster and faster, we get these shorter frame times, meaning more frames displayed over the same period of time. I mean, I was an early advocate for the benefits of high refresh rate gaming. The jump from 60 Hz at 16.67 milliseconds per frame up to 120 Hz at only 8.33 milliseconds per frame, that was huge.
Yeah.
And just about everyone and their grandpappy can feel the difference, even when you're simply browsing the web or chilling on the desktop.
So there's probably, with what he's getting at, there's probably a point of like diminishing returns. And it's like so exponential that we're like reaching that point on the graph where it's like, you know, it's straight and then it's like increase. It goes up and up. It's never going to be like picture perfect, but it'll be really close. So I wonder at what point he's going to say like, what's a good like in between.
But as we've shown in the past, the fasterer you go, the lesserer of a difference you are bound to notice. And the math for why that is pretty simple. Even if we were to take that 120 Hz and double our refresh rate again, look at that. We cut our benefit in half. And by the time we land at 360, each frame is on the display for at most 2.78 milliseconds. Back then to Dell Alienware's own marketing, where they...
So now we need 1000 Hertz refresh rate to cut it down to 1 millisecond. That's the next step.
They say that 500 Hertz is reaching speed that's at the edge of human visual perception. Well,
if 500 is the edge of human perception, then 1000 is imperceivable. It's imperceivable.
I think they kind of hit the nail on their own head here. Can anyone tell, even now? We brought in Zowie's new flagship, the 360Hz TN gaming display, XL2566K, to find out. Oh, look at that, it appeared.
I can't really feel a difference. I can't recognize a difference.
I don't think I could really tell which one's a 500 Hertz monitor and which one's a 360.
I helped set up this test. I know this one's 500. I literally cannot see any difference at all in terms of like frame times between these two.
I wonder if he were to get like all the FPS bros that he got before back in and see if they could tell the difference. You know, because the FPS bros are always trying to, you know, get more frames, get smoother images and blah, blah, blah. I wonder if, you know, someone like Shroud would be able to like tell the difference and be like, oh, this one's obviously better. Oh.
I'm surprised how bright this is with black frame insertion. I'm impressed, actually. It looks really good for a TN. Ooh. Well,
Yeah.
okay.
As soon as you go
Until
off
you're
angle.
anywhere other than right in front of it. Okay. Andrew, you should. Yeah. Shoot it straight on. Okay.
Yeah.
Shoot its good side, which is not from the side. While you get the crispness that's associated with black frame insertion or backlight strobing, and you can really see that on some of these bolder lines. Because these pixels are simply not switching as fast as on the Dell Alienware, as far as I can tell, you're also getting a nice, crisp ghost of an image on every fine line. Every single color, while I don't see a blur behind the object, I see a clear shadow of the object behind it. And that's on every color transition, not just on the super high contrast ones. Like I'm really noticing, especially on these color circles.
Yeah, we literally were just
We
talking
were just
about
talking
this.
about it. There's a name for this artifact that you see. I forget the name of it though.
Anyway, the point is, see on this red one, I'm actually seeing an overshoot and I'm seeing an after image.
Yeah, so that's inherent with LCD BFI because the backlight can't turn in sync with the scan out at every line. So you're always
Right.
going to have that issue.
And people are saying they prefer this.
Well, this test is meant for it to find these things basically,
Right.
but maybe it looks really good in CS:GO or something.
And what's really important in all of this
Again, everything gets compared to CS. Will there ever be another FPS game that can stand up?
is that all of us, other reviewers, Brandon, me, Plouffe, we are splitting hairs at this point. So yeah, it might be faster, it might be clearer, but to my eye, imperceptibly so. And to put things into perspective, the average gaming mouse is going to have anywhere from 1.5 to 3 milliseconds of processing latency on its own. I mean, your keyboard, if it has a 1000 hertz polling rate, might manage 1 millisecond, but we are getting to the point where these numbers are so low and so fast that we are realistically gated by our weak human flesh, not by the gear that we're using, regardless of which of these 3 monitors it is. When we're talking about an extra 4 or 5 milliseconds for your peripherals, and the average person's reaction time is about 250, outside of the most extreme instances of esports gaming, the bottom line is it just doesn't matter.
But that's enough of a marketing point to sell what do you call it? Like a high quality product to like the try hard FPS bros in gamer bros. That's enough. That is enough. Oh, is better? Oh, by how much? Oh, I'm buying it. I'm buying it. Take my money. Yeah, take my money.
Which doesn't mean that gaming displays don't have any redeeming features. The Zowie model, for example, we've talked a lot about BFI, or black frame insertion. That dramatically improves motion clarity. It's not for everyone. I personally don't like the generally reduced brightness or perceived flicker, but for some folks, it's a must-have. And I've got to say, to their credit, this one actually has very little perceptible flicker and is really bright. So kudos to Zowie, this is my first time seeing this one. And compared to our OLED, it manages to refresh 120 hertz faster. I mean...
Oh yeah, this one looks way clear. This one's way better.
This is an incredibly crisp LCD display, even for a TN one. And that feature, black frame insertion, is notably absent from the AW2524H, meaning that Alienware is counting on the lightning fast 500 hertz refresh rate in order to sell this thing. Can they then? Well, at $830.
Whoa! For a panel? Ugh! Yeah, I'm gonna wait like a couple years and then till I can get that out of like a gumball machine or something, and then maybe I'll get one.
This is a very premium 1080p monitor, even compared to the $600 Zowie. But it's not entirely unjustified. It's the first. It looks
Never buy the first of anything. Like, what are you doing? Never be the first one to buy the thing because you're the guinea pig. You're the beta tester. All right? Shit's never going to go good on the first try. All right? When has it ever gone good on the first try of anything? Never. All right?
looks much better thanks to its IPS panel, and in its default standard picture mode, we measured an average delta E of just 1.5 with a maximum of 6 on red in particular. It also seems to cover more of the advertised 99% of the sRGB color space, particularly red and purple, so those might look a touch more saturated, but not abnormally so. This thing looks great. It's also bright enough, hitting about 390 nits with local dimming disabled, 400 nits with it on, and about 450 nits at all window sizes with HDR on. With that being said, there aren't many dimming zones on it, and the HDR color accuracy wasn't great, so don't expect an amazing cinematic experience with movies or games with it enabled. As for the I/O, it's all right. We get 2 HDMI 2.0 ports so that you can have, I don't know, nice fast pixel response times on your Xbox or your PlayStation or whatever. A DisplayPort 1.4 with DisplayStream compression, which you will need in order to get to 500 Hertz, though any GPU that could possibly drive a game at 500 frames per second is going to have DSC. You get 4 USB-A ports, one of which is for an NVIDIA Reflex latency analyzer, a headphone jack, an audio line out, and this super secret port for NVIDIA to update the firmware.
Oh.
Yes, if that sounds exciting to you, you must have missed the memo. It has a G-Sync module, so if you like updating your own firmware in the event that fixes or new features roll out, this model might not be for you. Only NVIDIA can use that. It has height adjustment, swivel, and
Yeah, just download the thing, and then when it says there's an update available, just update it. Yeah, just do that.
tilt, and this is kind of cool. The stand itself takes up very little space on your desk, meaning that you can get as close as you could reasonably want to your monitor when you're trying to get a free headshot in Counter-Strike. Speaking of which, will it help you do that? Technically speaking, sure. I bet if you give this thing to a pro, it could marginally improve their game, because once you're at the top, that's all you're chasing. But if you are literally anyone else, you're probably better off with just about anything else.
Yep.
I mean, on the premium side, that LG OLED that we showed you earlier is almost $200 more.
Oh my God.
It's also
1,000? What the heck, dude?
a few inches larger, higher resolution, and will give you a great HDR experience. And it's not even the only option. A 240 Hz monitor will get you almost the same real-world experience as these, and there is ample competition in that space, meaning that those can be had for about $200 US these days.
Bro, all that like 1440 stuff, that's fake news. All the esports shit is like what? A 1080, a 24 inch? Super speedy?
Literally a quarter the cost of this, and a third the cost of this. Whichever route you go, we're gonna have links down below. I mean, who knows? Maybe once we double up again and hit 1,000 Hertz for 1 millisecond frame times, I'll have a different outlook.
That's the outlook, dude. That's what I'm about, all right? Give me that 1,000. Give me that 1K refresh rate.
You know, with everything at 1,000 Hertz, the 1,000 Hertz gaming PC.
Yes.
But for now, the only difference to my outlook is this look at our sponsor.
FlexiSpot. Sure, most people love sitting motionless.
Is this like the
at
third
desk all
sponsor?
day, but for everyone
something?
else, there's FlexiSpot's
Or is this the
E7
second one?
standing desk. The E7 is super stable and moves smoothly, so your monitors and other precious devices stay put as the desk moves up and down. Powered by its dual motors, the E7 is capable of easily holding up to 355 pounds, with a unique embedded junction to increase stability and a rock-solid carbon steel desk frame. Its LCD keypad panel lets you set 4 height presets or adjust the height manually within a wide range from 22.8 inches to 48.4 inches. Plus, there's a USB port to conveniently charge a device while you make your setup more ergonomic and active at the same time. The E7 has its own cable management board under the desk as well as cable ties so you can keep your desk space extra neat and tidy. The best part,
So
it
neat
comes
and
with
tidy.
a 15-year warranty. Now is the best time to get the E7 with FlexiSpot's spring promotional discount. Save up to 40% using the link below.
If you guys enjoyed this video, you might enjoy the last time we tried to see if bigger number better when 360 Hertz was all the rage. Spoiler, it wasn't then either.
Oh.
500.
So, it's so good. Oh man, I like that. That is pretty cool, and it's nice to know. So, it seems like 240 and 360 Hertz is pretty much the way to go. 500, you know, it's the first, you know, it needs some time to, you know, develop all the stuff, all the kinks, bang out all the dents, you know, it's not gonna be perfect. Trying to see Linus demonstrate the benefits of a 500 hertz monitor on his 60 hertz phone. Yes, goated. Surprised how fast that took to get the channel back into Linus LTT's control. If it was not for small creators, it would usually take days. Yeah. When he got like hacked and lost his shit. Yep. Let's see. Very happy to see the channels back to normal. Yep. Yeah, really happy to see the channel back in control. We love you, Linus. Keep fighting. Yep. Good stuff. I mean, overall, good video. You know, leave it to Linus to like inform everybody of like what's happening on the technological edge of commercial stuff happening and informing everybody. I think this is awesome. I dig it. Great freaking video, dude. Hell yeah. So that's about it. All right. Later.